everybody. Welcome back to the B Channel podcast, where my objective is to bless, edify, and encourage others to live their best lives. Now, today's episode is entitled Hurry No More. And I just wanted to have a little story time with y'all. So, let's start out around circa 2007. I was just getting finished up with my high school journey, but I had decided to start my career, if you will, in retail. And so I started working part time. And then fast forward to 2012, I had tried the college thing, didn't really work out for me. My dad began to have some health issues. My grandma began to have some health issues. So we started helping take care of her after he got sick. And then, he got better. And then he ended up getting hit by a car in 2017. And so from that point on, I kept working and I continued to do that in retail and help take care of him until we hit March 2020, the pandemic. And, I continued to take care of him. And I decided that it was best if I stay home because I didn't want him to get exposed to any of the germs and stuff, that was running rampant around that time. So now, fast forward to here we are. It's March of 2025. And so, yeah, it's been a crazy time for me. And as far as I can remember, you know, back over the last 18 years, I have to say, I have been in a state of hurry. But I feel like the last few months have taught me that hurry no more. It has to be my mantra. Hurry no more. Um, and I say that because I was either in school and working part time, or I was in college and I worked, part time over the summer, as many hours as I could. And then when college was, stopped and that didn't work out for me, I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep working part time. And I decided to, you know, stay home and take care of my daddy. And I was like, wow. I literally had to think about it like over the last few months. I literally was always working or in school or taking care of someone for the last at least 12 years of my life. So I had to really step back and say, what does slowing down and becoming more of a human being than a human doing look like? And I realized that it's going to require some intentionality. It's going to require some patience on my part. It's going to require some trial and error in terms of figuring out what practices and what rhythms look like for me and not what, other people think I should be doing or how they think I should be going about something. And I think that a lot of times in life we do fall into that trap of, oh, what will they think if I do it like this versus doing it like that? And we just get into this cycle of doing things a certain way because we think that that's the way that it has to be done. Now, I have to say this, um as a recovering perfectionist, as somebody who values productivity, efficiency, and being organized, those things have value, but you have to understand that there is a window of tolerance as far as those things. And I like to say, I'm beyond the point of um, trying to acquire balance in my life. At this point, it's about finding a middle ground. So, As far as the window of tolerance is concerned, just to elaborate more on that, it's something that my bereavement counselor actually clued me into, and I love how she described it. So think of your energy, your bandwidth, if you will, your emotional capacity, your mental capacity, your physical capacity to handle things as a scrunchie. It can be fully stretched out to a certain point. But after a certain point, you're going to have to allow it to come back in, because it's only so much of that scrunchie being stretched out that it can really handle before it snaps or something worse happens, right? So you have to understand, what can you really handle and sustain over a long period of time. Maybe there are certain things that you can do every now and then, but then there are other things that maybe you can handle weekly, or other things you can handle daily. And you have to play around and decide, like, based off of trial and error, what it is that you can actually handle accomplishing in a given time period, what works for you. And, sometimes as a creative, it can be really hard because you're always thinking about the future and hypothesizing and analyzing and experimenting and just wondering about so many things. You have so many things that you want to say or accomplish, and it can be overwhelming. And then you understand, you get to this epiphany, if you will. You understand that pacing is the gift that God has given us, right? Pacing is a gift from God. You do not have to do everything in an hour, or a day, a week, a month, or even a year. You can pace things out in a way that allows you to be able to breathe, right? And I mean, let's be real about it, y'all. Go back to the Bible. God understood our propensity, our capacity, if you will, as humans to go too far. He knew that that would be a thing. So, what did he say? He said, listen here, there has to be one day a week where you do nothing. And then he took it a step further and said, listen, if you have servants, they can't work. If you have animals, even the animals have to take time off. Isn't that something? And we will fight him tooth and nail, but sometimes life will just sit you down and you'll realize, I can't hurry no more. I can't do this. This is not sustainable. Like, I will literally go insane, or crash and burn, or both. And it's really interesting, because sometimes as humans, right, we think that boundaries are just for other people in our lives. But no, no, no. Boundaries are for us as well. The boundaries are there so we can say to ourselves, what can I handle in a given day? What is possible for me to do? Could I do one or two things? Yes. But can I do 10 or 20 things? Maybe not. And it also depends on the season you find yourself in. Like, for instance, right now, I'm in this season of grief. So the things that I used to be able to do is not really something that I can continue doing at the rate that I used to do them. It doesn't mean that I can't do certain things. I just cannot do it like I used to do it. So maybe an entire chore might be too much. So don't try to do all the dishes in one day. Maybe you do half the dishes, you know? Or I I'm not going to try to wash all of my laundry in one day. I can wash a couple of loads. So just things like that, practical things like that, and understanding the value, honey, of that Swiss cheese method, because it's better to do a little bit of something and get something done and have done nothing at all, or to try to do everything and crash and burn because it was too much. And like they always say, as cliche as it is, Rome wasn't built in a day. So we have to understand that pacing over time, that will allow you to accomplish more because you're not overwhelming yourself. And all of us are wired differently. Some of us need more time than others to accomplish tasks, and some of us, may not need as much time. And, so it's like, it's really up to what you feel like you can accomplish in a given period of time. That's what's really vital about that. You have to figure that out for yourself. And so that's pretty much what I wanted to share with y'all, is that we don't have to live our lives in that place. We don't have to live our lives there, y'all, in a state of hurrying. We can learn to be human beings instead of just human doings. We need rest as humans. It's okay. It's okay to stop and rest, and you don't have to do the things that you do in a way that other people think that you should do them. Like, some people might say, oh, well, I'm posting content all year. Well, I'm learning that might not be sustainable for me. Maybe I'll do 8 months out the year. Maybe I'll be like other people and do 6 months, because I've seen people do that too now, y'all. And I'm like, whoa. Whoa, they took 6 months off. Wow, that's really something, right? So, like I said before, trial and error, figuring out what works for you, but not living in this unsustainable place of hurry. Like, that's not the move for 2025 and beyond. I can't I can't keep up that rates of living. So anyway, y'all, just take some time to reevaluate or reassess the pace at which you're living your life, the rhythms that you have in place for how you're living your life. Is there something that you could slow down with? Think about that today. And I hope that this was a blessing to you in some way, shape, or form. I hope that it was timely. Um, if you're watching over on YouTube, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and share, and let me know what you thought about today's episode. If you are listening over on Spotify, make sure that you follow, you participate in today's poll, and you comment, and just give me some feedback. Was this a topic that you would like to see me talk about more? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know. And last but not least, make sure you follow me over at B Channel 27 on all social platforms. Like I always say, I dabble in TikTok. You can find me on Spotify. You can find me on LinkedIn, WordPress, Substack, YouTube, and definitely Instagram. If nowhere else, you'll find all the tea. Like, who am I collaborating with? You can find my latest podcast, and you can find my latest blog posts. So come over to Instagram, follow me at B Channel 27 for all those updates, y'all. And thank you so much for the support, for tuning in, for watching. I really appreciate it. And peace and blessings until next time.